how can we truly be effective in communicating the good news to a world that is deaf to the truth, to the Word of God? The Gospel invites us to learn from Jesus. The healing of the deaf man is a very beautiful example of how we can open the ears of those people whose hearts have been hardened. Firstly, we notice how Jesus adapted himself to the predicament of this deaf man. Jesus was not preaching to him, obviously, because he could not hear. Jesus showed his love, his concern, through gestures, and most of all, by touching him. When a person is deaf, no matter what we say, nothing is going to go in. So Jesus had to find another way of reaching out to this deaf man by way of love. To proclaim the good news does not always require words. It requires actions, how we reach out to people, how we show our sincerity, how we express our love. If people cannot hear, we can touch them. And today, people who are very hardened, very angry with the church, very angry with God, no amount of scriptures, quotations will change their hearts. What they need is TLC, tender loving care. We just have to touch them with our love. Why do people leave the church? Because we discriminate them. Because we treat them differently from the rest. Because we have favorites. Because we give special privileges to those who are powerful, those who are wealthy. And people see the church just another human institution. They do not really see themselves as being loved and being welcome. That is why in the church we need to be very sensitive to people so that none of us is excluded because of race, because of culture, because of status, because of wealth. In the church, we are all the same. God does not see how rich we are, what status you have. We are all children of God. We are all loved by Him. So we need to put on the eyes of God. And indeed, we find that Jesus, He was very inclusive, very personal in His approach. Firstly, we are told He brought the deaf man aside. Why did He do it? In other miracles, He would just heal. Because He was going to get this deaf man to speak. He has not spoken. He might not be able to articulate His words. It would be so embarrassing when He tried to speak. So He took him aside, very sensitive to this deaf man. And then we are told, after taking him aside in private, away from the crowd, He put His fingers into the man's ears. Why? He had to tell him, look, I'm going to open your ears. Because he can't hear what Jesus was saying. That's why He used actions. And the man understood that Jesus was going to heal his ears and to touch his tongue with spittle. Why? Again, to let the man know, I'm going to release your tongue so that you can speak again. So all these are signs, very personal touch. And the man felt assured. He was not embarrassed. He was treated with great respect. Sensitivity and respect will win the hearts of people. Half of the healing process is when we feel emotionally assured. And this is important because Jesus, precisely, He reached out to this man. And He looked up to heaven and He sighed. Again to tell this man, look, it's God who will heal you. God will heal you. You just have to be open. And we are told he sighed. Remember, Jesus wept when Lazarus died. Jesus wept when he saw the widow of Nain. Allowing people to know that we are feeling with them. We need to reassure our people that God is with them. And Jesus precisely, he sighed to let him know, I am one with you. I feel your pain. And when that happens, his ears were opened and ligament of his tongue was loosened and he spoke clearly. Now he had the confidence. And that is why, my dear brothers and sisters, today we have much to learn from Jesus. When we want to reach out to people who are skeptical of the gospel, our children who have left the church, we need to be patient. We need to be sensitive. Most of all, we need to win them over by our love, by our compassion, by our kindness. It is these actions at the end of the day will really be the best means of evangelization.